Hey, what's up everybody? ForneverWorld here today to do my review of Fairy Tail chapter 281, and I'm glad this chapter came out early because I've been in a fairy tale mood lately, and to get this chapter early is pretty awesome. Alright, so from the bat, no fighting in this chapter. It was more so moving the plot along, which is good though because we don't always need fighting, but if we can move the plot along and advance it to another stage, then that's awesome. For those of you that read the special that was released a couple weeks ago, that basically gave like the rankings of the characters and stuff, a lot of you may have noticed that a character from the Mermaid Heel was similar to a old ally of Urza's, and it turned out, in this chapter, Hero showed us, which was kind of like a little tease for us. When he released this, like, when you get the next chapter, you're gonna realize who that is exactly. And it was Miliana. She shows up, and I didn't like what he did with that particular character for this chapter for the simple fact that I felt like it was backwards character development for her. Like her character had progressed to a point where I felt, when we last seen her, she was happy, she was in a place in her life where there was no more anger and, sadness and grief over what Jeraru had done, Jalal. And now when we see her in this chapter, she's more, again, like with anger and hatred because basically her and Mermaid Heel. The whole point of Mermaid Heel is, I guess, against Jeraru, and Kagura is the leader, I guess, of the guild, and she hates Jeraru. And the reason why she can't go full strength is because the only person she want to go full strength is somebody she hates, and that is Gerard. So basically, it's really a guild against him in general, and Urza, has her doubts. And I automatically, after seeing this, know that eventually Miliana's gonna find out about Urza, having this connection with him, and is probably gonna hate Urza, and that's where they're gonna collide. And I could definitely see a huge fight between Urza and probably some of the main members of Mermaid Heel. I could definitely see, and I really hope we get Kagura versus her because Kagura we see is very formidable, and that's going to be an awesome fight. But I also see something going on with Miliana and her. Not quite sure what, but possibly even I see something along the lines of her telling, Urza telling Miliana, let it go already. I don't know why you're still with hatred. Because she left the two guys that she was, traveling with and joined them and then gained hatred again. And I didn't, again, like that because I feel like that was going backwards with her character. We're supposed to progress forward. But some people, I guess, in reality, don't always just keep on progressing. Sometimes they fall backwards because of certain circumstances. Maybe she felt lonely, maybe, whatever the case may be. But we definitely see that she's kind of got like evil intentions in her as far as with Jirah. Like whenever she gets her hands on him, she'll rip him to pieces if she could, which, it ain't going to be no easy task neither. Jirah is pretty strong. He was on the council, so yeah. And we also got a couple different things in this chapter as well. We got Yukino's after effects of what happened with her, and I just felt bad for the character. The guild master basically stripped her butt naked in front of everyone and called her a piece of trash, and to get out and to erase the saber-tooth stamp of, off of her body. And it was just really disgusting acts, to be honest. I just felt bad for the character, and she shows up in front of the fairy tale members when they are walking, so I kind of see or foresee her eventually joining Fairy Tail, which is good because she is a pretty awesome, I guess, wizard. And to see that, maybe Lucy can learn something from her, get some type of tips. So that's pretty cool. I'm seeing something with her joining Fairy Tail possibly. And in the beginning of the chapter, we get a little more talks of this whole plan that's going down, where basically Urza is talking with Gerald, and he's telling her that, every year the council has always felt like this magic similar to Xerox, but this year they're not feeling it yet, and something's very mysterious. So maybe they could get in time before this dark plan, goes into effect if they can understand what's going on. And overall, this chapter, it didn't need to be one of those action packed if it had stuff moving the plot. So we get that we learn about Miliana. That's pretty awesome. Again, with the character, I don't like exactly where she's going, but it's still awesome to see a old face, and in a new situation. We get the Yukino thing. Felt real bad for the character. She, stripped butt naked in front of everybody. She's a woman. Disgusting behavior. I want to see a saber tooth leader get like messed up. Maybe mock Rob kick his butt after the tournament or something. And we also got the beginning with Urza and Gerard talking about this, these shady dealings behind the scenes. So yeah, it was a really good chapter in my opinion for the fact that it held its own without action, and it just moved the plot along, which is good. That's what we need sometimes, just something very simple. Also, One other thing is, I forget his name exactly. I believe it's Rogue. And when he's talking to Sting, we can see that Rogue isn't as bad as some of the Sabretooth members because they got this chip on their shoulder. They better than everybody. But Rogue felt bad for Yukino when he was talking with Sting, and so there's some. There could be some redemption for this character depending on what goes on next. But I like that we got to see a little bit of goodness within him. And overall, again, good chapter. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very pleasant to move on with the story. But let me know what you thought of it. What did you feel about Yukino getting stripped? And what do you thought about this whole thing with Miliana returning? Do you think it's good for her character to go down this path, or she was already better off where she was headed? And just your overall thoughts of what happened. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you really thought that this was a good chapter to move forward. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.